So we go to the next question. Saili, you could answer this. How can a patient who doesn't want to take a bath be motivated to do the job?
Yeah. So the way जैसे हमने जाना कि पेशेंट्स इसमें काफी स्टबर्न हो जाते हैं ड्यूरिंग दिस प्रोसेस, देयर आर पर्सनालिटी चेंजेस हमें देखे जाते हैं पेशेंट में. सो देन इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द केयर गिवर या जो रिलेटिव्स है वो किस तरीके से पेशेंट को मोटिवेट कर सकते हैं. सो वी कैन डिवाइड इट इन
I think we have lost her. Connectivity problem, I think so.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll go to the next question. What is the best chance of slowing Alzheimer's? My mother has it since 2 years now, and I can see it progressing. What is the best line of treatment? Now, as I always draw out a diagram for my patients, that I can maybe do it here also now. So I usually tell that it's the stages of Alzheimer's are preclinical. This is before symptoms develop. Can you all see my chart? So this is preclinical, before the symptoms develop. This is clinical, and where symptoms develop and they gradually progress. And then here it is terminal, and this is pre-terminal stage. The most difficulty occurs in the pre-terminal stage and the second clinical stage, where the symptoms go on progressing. So the teamwork starts in the clinical stage, क्योंकि clinical मतलब जब symptoms शुरू हो जाते हैं, तो टीम वर्क तभी शुरू हो जाता है. गेटिंग अ टीम इन प्लेस टू रिहेबिलिटेट. आई यूजुअली डू फैमिली काउंसलिंग फर्स्ट, कि फैमिली के स्पेसिफिक गोल्स, रियलिस्टिक गोल सेटिंग करना जरूरी होता है, और फिर फैमिली को साथ लेके न्यूरोसाइकोलॉजिस्ट या समवन फ्रॉम स्पीच लैंग्वेज एज डेडिकेटेड एज सोनल, बिकॉज all speech language people are not dedicated towards dementia. But if we do find some people who are dedicated towards rehabilitation, then they have to be taken in. Physiotherapy is also an important part, because and this is an experience of my friend also, who is a very good physiotherapist in Pune, and they started working in an old age home, and they found that after doing good physiotherapy for the patients regularly, जो dementia के लिए आए थे और जो पार्किंसंस के लिए आए थे, तो फंक्शनैलिटी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इन डिमेंशिया. कितने दिनों तक उनको फंक्शनल रख सकते हैं. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, फंक्शनैलिटी, डिग्निटी और कंफर्ट. तो उनको कंफर्टेबल रखना, उनको फंक्शनल रखना और उनकी डिग्निटी बरकरार रखना, ये 3 चीजों के लिए हम जरूर काम कर सकते हैं. दवाइयां तो है ही, मगर दवाइयों का पैराडॉक्स ऐसा है कि बाद की जो स्टेज है, प्री टर्मिनल और टर्मिनल स्टेज, तब तो हमको दवाइयां धीरे धीरे कम करनी पड़ती है, क्योंकि दवाई जहां जाके काम करेगी वो जगह भी सुकड़ गई है. तो clinical stage gives us the time for working on the patient with medicines and with lifestyle changes. As sir said, there is no time which is a bad time for starting all these lifestyle changes. So we will start them. मगर हमारे जो goals है वो realistic होना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि हम अगर बोलेंगे कि पूर्वव्रत, improvement and recovery are 2 words in brain diseases. सो इम्प्रूवमेंट मतलब सुधार होना, और रिकवरी मतलब पूर्वव्रत होना. तो पूर्वव्रत तो कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. इम्प्रूवमेंट का मतलब क्या है? फंक्शनैलिटी इज इम्प्रूवमेंट. मतलब पेशेंट खुद का काम खुद कर पा रहा है कि नहीं. सो दैट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, एंड फॉर दैट अ मल्टी डायमेंशनल अप्रोच इज रिक्वायर्ड. सिर्फ दवाइयां नहीं है, लाइफस्टाइल, हैविंग अ स्ट्रक्चर्ड डे. दिन का कुछ स्ट्रक्चर हो, कितने बजे उठना, कितने बजे खाना खाना, नहाने के टाइमिंग फिक्स रखना. तो दिन का जो स्ट्रक्चर होना जरूरी है वो इम्पोर्टेंट है, और ये कुछ तरकीबें हैं जो हम कर सकते हैं. सर, वुड यू वांट टू ऐड टू दिस?
No, you have answered it very well, so I think we should move on.
Yeah, okay, we'll get to the next one. Is it possible to treat a patient with last stage Alzheimer's to rehabilitate and reduce the disorder? So last stage में comfort and dignity are the only things we can maintain for the patient. Patient को comfortable रखना और उनका मान सम्मान ठीक से रखना. तो that becomes our goal, and that is where palliative neuropsychiatry is heading towards, कि पेशेंट्स की जो तकलीफ है उसके हिसाब से उनको मैनेज करना और डिग्निटी उनकी मेंटेन करना और कंफर्ट मेंटेन करना, क्योंकि एंड स्टेज में फंक्शनैलिटी भी हमारी लिस्ट में से, गोल्स की लिस्ट में से निकल जाता है. नाउ 14th क्वेश्चन इज देयर.
Can I add it to that, ma'am?
Yes, do.
So what happens in the end stage? They will not be able to communicate. So be it Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or frontotemporal dementia or vascular dementia, very advancing state. So they don't recognize people, even the family members. They don't understand your commands. And that time you have to still be feeding them. You have to still be giving, talking to them, having them. So it's important that safe swallowing you can work on in terms of you modify the consistency. If you're still able to feed them orally, if the person is unsafe for swallowing, if he's aspirating, then you have to go for a nasogastric tube or a peg tube, which is put to the stomach, and then you have to feed them with the enteric tube feeding. And if it's important that while still have the patient bathe and then have his supper or sleep well, or you have to ask him to do some exercises on his own, so still you have to try your best that he is involved in some task where people are talking to him, and not that he is completely locked in the room or you're just feeding him with oral or peg tubes. So at the end stage, it's very important that palliative care with dignity, what ma'am said, also safe swallowing, have some communication, simple cards and the albums where you can still show something which is from the long-term memories, which can still help him or her to understand the simplest aspects. So that can be a bit added to the end stage rehabilitation.
Yes. So I will take all the questions, sir, hereafter. So that, yeah, no problem. So what is the best chance of slowing? How to make the care? Yeah. So now Harsimran has asked this: how to make the caregiver understand and cope with the patient if they are having issues like patient is being kiddish or acting like a kid or being stubborn. So making the caregiver understand that we have to accept this and to things to help them because they already are going through the disease. So yes, Simran, this is an important question, but we have to care for the caregiver also. So it's a very it's a big balancing act that we have to do, क्योंकि केयर गिवर होना बहुत आसान नहीं है, especially if the patient is of frontotemporal dementia, क्योंकि बहुत जिद्दी हो जाते हैं, बहुत चिड़चिड़े भी हो जाते हैं. Sometimes they will crack jokes when nothing is funny also. So inappropriate behavior. तो ऐसे में केयर गिवर को सिर्फ समझाते रहना भी मुश्किल होता है. तो caregiver may need counseling separately. Sometimes caregivers are depressed and they may need even treatment for that. So we usually recommend to have an unrelated caregiver come and take care of the patient for some time. कोई अनरिलेटेड ब्यूरो में से कोई अटेंडेंट अगर आके 2 घंटा पेशेंट को देखेगा तो दैट इज मच बेटर. दिस इज इन द लेटर स्टेजेस ऑफ फ्रंटोटेम्पोरल डिमेंशियाज, जब पेशेंट और भी जिद्दी होते जाते हैं. समटाइम्स दे बिकम वायलेंट, दे विल अटैक देयर रिलेटेड केयर गिवर. तो अनरिलेटेड केयर गिवर आर एन इम्पोर्टेंट रिसोर्स फॉर फैमिलीज ऑफ डिमेंशिया, क्योंकि अनजाने व्यक्ति का ज्यादा अच्छे से सुनते हैं पेशेंट्स. तो 1-2 घंटे के लिए वो आएगा या आएगी व्यक्ति और पेशेंट की केयर लेके नहला के साफ सूफ करके चली जाएगी, और उतने 2 घंटे के लिए जो बेसिक रिलेटेड केयर गिवर है उनको भी छोटी सी छुट्टी मिल जाती है वो सब प्रोसेस से. So we recommend that unrelated caregivers also should be involved somewhere in the management of the patients, and caregivers may need counseling. और हमेशा एक caregiver कभी नहीं होना चाहिए. There should be at least 2-3 people जिनमें responsibility बांटी गई है, और caregiver होना बिल्कुल आसान नहीं है. So we have a lot of stories of our caregivers. So we can have a separate session for caregivers just to discuss their issues. Now there is another question: the ID card specifically with written for emergencies contact, how can anyone check it or to help the patient until and unless the patient agrees? What can the passerbys do to help? So this is also an important question, and it's a very practical question. सो इफ यू कैन आईडी कार्ड अगर गले में ही डालने की उनको आदत हम डाल दें, तो that makes things much easier. And instead of having that ID card of a regular size with जैसे क्रेडिट कार्ड पे छोटे अक्षरों में है, उसकी जगह मोटा मोटा अगर लिखा पेशेंट का नाम और फर्स्ट कांटेक्ट पर्सन का फोन नंबर, बस मतलब दूर से भी सिर्फ गले में वो दिख के ही लोगों को पता चले कि पेशेंट के कोऑपरेशन की जहां जरूरत ही ना हो। या फिर आप टी शर्ट्स पे प्रिंट करके ले सकते हैं फोन नंबर कि इंस्टेंट इफ ही इज फाउंड वॉन्डरिंग प्लीज कॉल दिस। सो प्रिंटेड टी शर्ट्स आप दे सकते हैं उनको पहनने के लिए। एंड सो दैट इज जस्ट क्रिएटिव वे आउट ऑफ दिस। Now, my mother had one freezing episode since the diagnosis, which was in early 2020 diagnosis. Okay. So, yeah, so the freezing episode needs to be reported to your neurologist or your psychiatrist. And will it happen again? We do not know whether the freezing of episode will happen. And freezing episode can be because of a fugue state. Fugue state मतलब अचानक सब hang हो जाता है brain. तो उसकी वजह से भी हुआ होगा, ऐसा हो सकता है। इट नीड्स टू बी डॉक्यूमेंटेड, और अगली बार आप जब जाओगे तब वो रिपोर्ट करना जरूरी है। और नो वन कैन आंसर वेदर इट विल हैपन अगेन। इज इट सेफ टू सेंड हर आउट अलोन एनीमोर? यहाँ पे भी कोई अगर अटेंडेंट साथ में हो तो कभी भी ज्यादा अच्छा है। Then next question is how to recognize the difference between an old man getting lost because of dementia or just temporary memory loss which happens maybe after a fall as in shock. So it's not easy, मगर डिमेंशिया अगर होगा तो उस व्यक्ति को जस्ट गेटिंग लॉस्ट वन डे से भी ज्यादा सिम्टम्स होंगे, और भी कई सिम्टम्स होंगे जिसकी वजह से वो एक पैटर्न हमको दिखेगा। एंड देन वी कैन से दैट दिस इज नॉट अ टेम्पररी मेमोरी लॉस because of the head injury, but या फिर because of the shock, but there are other symptoms, and this is exactly the situation where neuropsychological evaluation can help us in understanding ki is it a one situation or is it a pattern, it is a jigsaw puzzle piece from a whole pattern of illness. I'm taking the next question. Also, the medications given to her currently make her drowsy a lot, but she wouldn't want to sleep in the afternoon hours. So you have to report this to your treating doctor कि इन दवाइयों से सुस्ती आती है, तो कैन वी रीशेड्यूल द डोसेस टू मैच हर स्लीप साइकिल। तो ये आपको आपके डॉक्टर से डिस्कस करना है। सो कैन वी मेक द चेंज हैपन बाय थेरेपी? ओके, सो psychological therapy, I think they mean.
I'll just try to answer this.
Yeah.
Rehabilitation needs will change, and the goals of intervention and the activities will change as the patient is progressing from mild to moderate to severe dementia. So obviously it's important to seek rehabilitation even if the patient is not going to get cured or not going to get completely improved. So that is how many caregivers who are really burdened financially, socially, physically will feel if he's not improving, why should I go to rehabilitation? If he's not going to speak, why should I take therapy? But I would always feel that it's important to take the right therapy in terms of safe swallowing, in terms of communication, that word by word, if they're losing, have some communication strategies where you can modify your task. With occupational therapy also you can work on the person's bathing, toileting, dressing skills, so everyday life skills, and those need to be modified with environment, with assistive devices. You can really make a difference to the person with dementia's life, and your own burden as a caregiver we can come down, and you can handle the person with dementia in a better way if you seek the professional help. And you have a lot of support groups available here when you can hear them, and that way what happens that you get some answers where you don't get a complete cure. So rehabilitation changes as the patient will have a different staging, different advancement. At the same time, you need to have a teamwork for physical mobility, the ADA everyday skills, then the communication, then the feeding skills, and how do you feel that your own work, your own depression, your own burden also gets alleviated.
Yes, thank you, Sonal. I think you have answered a few questions which were lined up also. So yes, for mild dementia, a team approach is extremely important. But even in severe dementia, you will get a lot of psychosocial support as caregivers for being able to manage your patient in a more proper manner. So yeah, then caregivers burden, yes. So great effort. How to relieve it? Yeah, I think yeah, that's it. So we are done with the questions, and thank you all so much for attending. And we will be having one such event every 2 months. Next month we are going to have let's talk about stroke session, and in November we are going to have let's talk about epilepsy session. So at least see 6 such sessions every year we will have, if required more than that. And thank you for asking us so many questions. And I'm sure that there are many other unanswered questions. And as our series continues, we will be continuing our association with you. Thanks a lot for attending. Thank you, Sonal. Thank you, Saili. And thanks to Dr. Dhananjay also. He had to leave a little early today. So
Thank
I
you
take,
so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, all.
yes, thank you so much. So Priyadarshi, we can end the meeting.
Stay safe, all.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.